Hello everyone for a new build guide video. So this is my fire, self-poison, BB, shenanigans, assassin build, what do you want to call this thing now? So this is the one I used for the Delhi project, the one we did 100% delirium with. So there's two different versions of this build. I'll pretty much talk about both builds so you can decide between two which one you want. There is the full fire BB build, which can do everything except self-poison. Does all content in the game, no problem. Cyrus is a little bit hard to do, but it can do Conquer's maps, no problem whatsoever. And then there is the one for 100% Delirium, which is the close to the same thing. It's just a self-poison version. It's just you do Fizz and Fire also. So pretty much, if you're playing the build that I'm playing, this is the one that's for Delirium. The only difference really is a couple points, maybe like 5 points. So your lab enchant, if you're doing self-poison, you need to take Noxious Strike. It helps with the 40% chance to poison. If you're not playing self-poison, just take Optimistic instead. It's for more damage. And then the other difference is over here. If you're playing self-poison, you cannot take Avatar Fire because this pretty much makes it so you don't do any fizz damage so that you cannot poison. So if you want to play the fire version, just take Avatar Fire to do all fire damage, and your build will run much smoother. Other than that, it's the exact same skill tree. Because like the 1 point I put here, I just put it over here for 6% life. No, it was right here actually. So 6% ES or life, just move it over to the Avatar Fire. It's really up to you which one you want to get rid of. Because everything else on the tree is the exact same skill. That's the only difference I made. So it's pretty much a stack all your. It's like the build I played last league. You stack all your power charges. So pretty much lab 1, 2, 3, 4 even, or you can go 1, 2, 3, 4 probably. It's really up to you, but you probably want to go with Mistwalker first, and then go for your power charges, then decide between two which one you're going with. And then pretty much there's tree, life, crits, AoE. If you're playing self-poison, make sure you have a golden rule somewhere. I recommend getting corrupted blood on it if you're playing self-poison because it's 2 exalt, it's real cheap. And just take these 2 points. If you're not playing self-poison, you can just get rid of these 2 skill points if you don't want them. And put them on like the life, or go with the ES. Or you can even put them pretty much wherever you need the most. If you don't get lucky on the Timeless Jewel like I did and getting the Fire Damage Leeches life here, you can use those 2 points to go like up here, or if you get over here, up here, wherever you get it to help with that. Because like you can do that. There's double damage you can get. I got extremely lucky and got it right here. It's extremely hard to do, but it can work. Like it's a stack power charge, life, strength. So the cluster jewels, the mediums are all exact copies of each other. All 4 mediums are Towering Threat, Vasta Power. Just going for those just for the AoE and life. And make sure you have 1 low messenger. And then the other 3, you're going to run into one problem with this build. You're going to run into is resistance. So that's where my resistance gets fixed from. Like life, all res, and cold res. Because cold might worse. Life, all res, cold res again. And then this one, since I didn't need elemental resistance on all 3, the third one, I just got crit, life, and AoE. Pretty much life with whatever I can throw on there. And like an Unnatural Instinct, you do want to make sure you have this because it's a lot of stuff this gives you. That side's done. Avatar Fire if you're going the full fire version. Your life and chaos res. If you're going full fire, you can definitely go this way to get more chaos resistance. Because chaos res with this build helps out a tremendous amount. So you can also even get a small cluster with the chaos one. and then roll chaos on top of it. So you can get almost 18 to 20 chaos per node you take, and there's up to 3 of them. So that could give you a huge amount of chaos res. And like over here, another max power charge. Transcendent Flesh for more crit strike multiplier by 56%, so it's a lot. And then down here, you just get your Divine Fury, Divine Judgment for more damage. Skill tree is pretty much identical to almost every fire BV you see out there these days. Gear, this is pretty much the bow you're looking for. A 30% quality bow with AoE, so you get bigger AoE. You can definitely go with other options, but I think Air Effect is probably the best to go with. And then pretty much you want your +1 socketed gems, 144 increased spell damage, your global crit multiplier, with your level of socketed support gems and 10% chance to deal double damage, just so you deal more. You can definitely hit this with a using Harvest Craft to remove that multi-mod to put as something else, but it's a huge gamble to do. And then it's pretty much your Val BV, Awaken Control Destruction, Awaken Unleash, Awaken Elemental, Concentrate Effect, and then Power. Because the Empower is nice with this bow because it boosts it all the way to level 4 to level 7. So everything is +6. So it pretty much +7 BV. Helm, you're pretty much looking for a 30% increased BV duration. It's the best thing to get for the Helm. And ideally, you want +1 power charge and skill supported Unleash, get +1 seal. So it makes it so that you use it, you go up to 5. So you get more per charge, so it's faster to get to 10. And it's pretty much, I just went with Anonymous Arctic Armor. It's probably not best in slot anymore due to its nerf, but I just went with it because I don't know what that best option would be. And it's like Enhance, Herald of Ass, and Enlightenment support. Just to reduce your Herald down so it only takes up half your mana. And then you boost the crap out of the equality on both of these. Badge of Brotherhood. So there's 2 options. Last league, I didn't use Badge of Brotherhood. But if you're Badge of Brotherhood, it makes it so you just get the double charges with the Frenzy. So you get Frenzy charges also, which does make you get more damage. If you don't want to do Badge of Brotherhood, you can definitely change these 2 pieces right here. Instead of Badge, you can go with the you still want a Dex Intelligence base, but you can get like the +1 spell gems, I think, something like that, and like +1 Fizz and +1 Dex, I believe, on your amulet with like life, resistance, other things. So you can definitely drop those jewels up there, so you don't need resistance anymore. If you don't use Badge, and on the chest you don't need Frenzy, you can get like crit, you can get another you can get another curse. So you don't have to run the Hex Touch. It'll probably make it a little bit easier so you don't need to buy the Awakened Hex Touch for 20x. It'll just save you money that way. But if you're running Badge, you're going to want the 10% chance to gain Frenzy. Explode is a must. And then Life Resistance. Signal Fire. It doesn't matter what rolls are on this. You can get any kind of Signal Fire, the cheapest one on the market. If you have currency, I would go, instead of the deals fire damage to bow attacks, just get the convert like fizz damage to an element to help you with your defense. And then rings, 2 of them, they're both Circle of Englishes. They're both increased fire damage while affected by Herald of Ash. And Herald of Ash deals or has a buff effect. Both of them are exact copies. They are expensive, but they are the best to go with. Headhunter. It's a Headhunter build, so Headhunter is required. Pretty much with the boots, if you're playing Self-Poison, you have to get your unaffected by poison on the boots. Just because you cannot run Malevolence to do the Watcher's Eye version. And you probably don't want to run the Mal Helmet. So I would probably recommend just getting on the boots. And just get like a 2-tone Life Resistance. And then I crafted Cannot Be Frozen because when I ran my first match, I kept getting frozen non-stop. And it was extremely annoying. So that's why I have no movement speed on the boots, and it cannot be frozen instead. If you're playing the pure fire build, you don't need the unaffected by poison, and you can just run movement speed instead. It'll be a lot cheaper. Even Tailwind, if you want to go with the best option would be Tailwind. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. So chest piece, It's flammability, elemental weakness, combustion, awaken, hex touch, level 5, just for the double curse. Power charge on crit and divergent or orb of storms. I went with divergent just for the extra beam split, but it doesn't really matter which one you choose. Then the boots, it's the Immortal Call level 6, cast damage taken level 2, Righteous Fire level 21, and increased duration just for the increased duration of these two. Gloves, I don't know what the best in slot is for this. I just went with Finger Sync gloves just for more spell damage. And it's just life, resistance, and energy shield. That's all the gloves are. And then Flask, bleed immune. You can definitely do, if you don't need bleed immune, you can definitely run freeze immune. It'd probably be much nicer, because the amount of times I've been frozen with this build are absolutely ridiculous. And this build, when you start going and get frozen, you're instant dead. Bottle of Faith, Cinderella with crit strike. Wise Oak, just make sure your fire resistance is the highest. And Quicksilver Flask of Adrenaline. So it's, oh yeah, and gloves, it's pretty much your Arcane Surge with your Withering Step, Anonymous Flame Dash just for travel distance, and Anonymous second wind support just for more numbers on these. Because without it, you only have 3. So it makes you get 5 Flame Dashes. But I will say, Withering Step and Flame Dash are extremely annoying together because they both use the same number. That's why Anonymous Second Wind does help to give you 5. But they are extremely annoying together. I think that's pretty much the build. So, you saw the build go on 100% Delirium Mask, but I'll show you in a quick conquer that I have ready, just to run it. You can definitely push these numbers a lot higher too. Like, not even 4, not even 3 is pretty bad. You probably want around 7. Like max chaos res. I would probably recommend going elemental immune too, if you're not going poison, just for the quality of life, because you'll definitely consider it. Like, it's probably the one reason I'm probably scratching the build after this video, is because of stuff like that. But you can see the build with, this is me playing with Self Poison, so that's why I don't care my chaos res, because my Self Poison will give you my chaos resistance. Because with Self Poison, I'm already sitting at over 100 chaos res. So that's why I didn't focus too much on chaos on this build. If we can find the exits, who's boss? Oh, this is this boss, never mind. Okay. And boss 10's dead, boss 2's dead. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Ignite for this build absolutely sucks if you get touched by it. And I just screwed up right there. So if you get hit with Ignite, you are 100% instant dead. If you don't have a flask to deal with it, which you probably won't. Which is what killed us right there. I died, that's why the exploding meatballs are probably the most annoying thing ever. Come on. This lag has been so bad today. Okay, usually you're not the best die during showcases, but Self Poison does have its problems with that kind of stuff. It's not as tanky as the one we did last league. But yeah, no movement speed also, he's a lot slower. Okay. Okay, now let's see what the build actually does. The fact that we don't get poisoned does make this boss really easy, but you can see how fast the damage going down. That's usually what happens all the time. That's mostly normal. Not getting hit by a meatball and instant dying. So that's pretty much the Fire BV build. Yeah. So I'm going to pretty much sell the build off, and I'll probably build cast on crit for some delirium farming, since we do have... I have a lot of fracture maps already mirrored, ready to go. I just need a character with some certain things I'm looking for to run them. So I hope you liked the video. Oh yeah, I forgot about this too. I went with Brian Keene and Girthin. Brian Keene is mainly because of stun locking, because it's the only way to prevent a little bit of stun, because you will need it. And then also same with Frozen, because the minute you get frozen or stunned with this build, you are instant dead. Because before I was going Luaris, but I got stun locked non-stop. So this is the only option you have. So it's the only way to go. You have to go with Brian Keene. And this one doesn't matter. You can definitely probably go with this one probably, because it will reduce the ignite duration. So it probably will save you from the meatballs, which probably would be the best in slot. I'll link the POB in the description below. I'm going to go make the POB right now. But this build does do like between 6 to 8 million damage. It's extremely strong. It's just you have to... defenses wise, you're not the strongest. It's more like the glass cannon usual BV builds out there these days. So I hope everyone liked the video. Like to see, subscribe on, come follow me on Twitch. If you play fire, poison, cold BV even, let me know how they are. I know cold's extremely good. It's just, it's extremely expensive. So hope everyone liked the video, and hope to see you on the next one.